got a secret underneath. Yeah, she's this naughty little freak. She likes to put on a show. She likes when it takes control.
Yeah, he's disruptive. And when you see him get off the ball and you see his intensity and you see his acceleration and you see how disruptive he can be, but then you see the leadership. When your best players are your best leaders and they expect to practice and be great every day, that's special.
I mean, Rashawn's a beast, man. I mean, he's going to make my job so much easier. I've always said that. Like, he's going to make my job so much easier. And at the same time, he's going to go hard every play. And I know that about Ryan.
This new defensive front is already helping the back end. Two early beneficiaries, rookie safeties Javon Bullard and Evan Williams, who are competing for a starting job alongside Xavier McKinney.
Those guys are smart. You know, they're fast learners. They're really aggressive. I mean, some things you can't coach, and you can just see it, man. They just have that young spirit about them, man. It's cool to see.
You know, I couldn't sit here and tell you right now who that starter is going to be. I don't know if I will be able to do that in a week. And that's not coach speak. That's the truth. And I think Anthony Johnson's another guy that's doing a nice job of competing back there.
Anthony Johnson Jr. played in a dozen NFL games last season and is already learning a ton from the veteran McKinney.
How he practices, how he competes, how he finishes plays, his mindset, how he's able to dissect or know what the offense is going to do pre-snap, his communication post-snap, and he's a great leader. He's a dude that's giving back to all of us young guys, so hats off to him.
He's the guy, you know, running the show back there, disguising all these looks, and, you know, that's another great DB that we got that, you know, that's good on good competition that I love because I'm going against, you know, some real guys out there who might be the best DBs that we're going to see all season. So X is doing a phenomenal job, and you know, he's a playmaker. He's always around the ball. He's always hunting that ball. So excited to see what we can do this year.
Speaking of new faces and new places, it is new Green Bay Packers safety Xavier McKinney. X, thanks for coming on Inside Training Camp. How do you like being in this particular new place? How are things going?
I love it. It's been great. It's peaceful. It's quiet. I get to focus and lock in on my job, and it's been every bit of fun for me.
Lock in on your job. I mean, first season here, and you're one of the best safeties in the National Football League. We all know that.
Yep.
But you walk into this with a new defensive coordinator in Jeff Hafley, and you are calling this thing, which is pretty impressive, but it speaks to your leadership. Yep. What's that like for you?
It's nothing different than, you know, what I've pretty much done my whole entire life. I've always prided myself on being a great leader, just showing everything I could do and being an example to the guys that are younger than me, making sure I go about my business the right way and trying to do things the right way all the time. So obviously being around these guys, they're helping me, and I'm still growing, but you know, that's something that I've always done, so I always feel comfortable in that role.
Without obviously giving away the scheme, how does this scheme support you DBs, maybe jumping up a little bit more into the box and getting after it up front? Like, how do you guys give us a little sneak peek into how this thing's going to look?
Well, it's very fun. It gives the DBs opportunity to just be instinctual, be able to play off the quarterback and just be ourselves and make plays. And obviously, when you got the guys up front that get to the quarterback, I mean, they've been getting there. It's been fun to watch them, but it's been making our job a hell of a lot easier. So when you just combine those two of having playmakers in the back end and then guys that can get after the quarterback, it's great. So we just got to keep building, and we know that. And we just try to come in here and get as much work as we can each and every day, and we'll keep growing and keep getting better.
And that building process, how far do you feel that you guys are along? Because Coach was saying, talking last week, that you know, if you're walking up, you're making the decisions on who's going where at a certain point. How far along do you think you guys are about right now?
I think we're pretty far, but I think we still got a lot of work to do. There's still things that we know we have to tighten up, and obviously we haven't played any real opponents yet. So we know that, you know, adversity will come, and it's going to come. It's inevitable. So for us, we just got to keep working on our craft and making sure that we tighten up the small things. So, you know, when we do face these opponents, you know, things come, you know, natural for us and easy for us, and we can go out there and be successful.
When Jair was talking about Coach Hafley, it kind of reminded me of another head coach who liked to work with defensive backs.
Yeah.
Of course, just retired, Nick Saban.
Yep.
Do you see any similarities in a guy who's, of course, it's his job to coordinate the defense, but he wants to spend time with you guys?
No, for sure. I see a lot of similarities. He's in there with the safeties at least pretty much every individual meeting that we have. You know, for us, we would like to call ourselves the brains of the defense and be able to. We want to know everything that's going on. So we pride ourselves on that as a group, and I just making sure that I tell the guys to never feel complacent, never get comfortable. Always come in with a working mindset. Always trying to get better each and every day. And obviously out here, if you know, for the people that have been here and just watching the practices, you can tell like we got a really great group. We got a fun group to watch. We got a smart group, and we're just gonna keep getting better. We're gonna keep getting smarter, and that's it.
You're so humble, X, but like you put up career highs in basically every category last season. No TDs allowed in coverage, right?
No.
We agree, right?
Yeah,
you remember that well
I do.
with the Giants.
Yeah.
Your quarterback, Jordan Love, he throws a lot of TDs, or he did last year.
Yep.
What has impressed you, or what are your impressions of him thus far?
Yeah, he's a hell of a leader, and he's a great player. Obviously, we've seen that in his play, and just you know, seeing him work every day and day in and day out, how he trains, how he watches film. You know, we kind of talk about certain things that we see on the field. He's trying to pick my brain, I'm trying to pick his, and we're just making each other better. But it's been fun going out here and competing with him every day, kind of seeing, you know, what he kind of sees and trying to just work around it, trying to, you know, throw different things at him. So I kind of try to get in his head a little bit, but we got a little competition going. But it's been fun, man. It's been great to watch. It's great to be his teammate, and yeah.
It's so exciting to see you have this opportunity at a place like Green Bay.
Yep.
I mean, what's the ceiling, I guess, for this group, given that they went to the playoffs? You went to the playoffs, not with them last year, but there's just so much young talent, really.
Yeah, I think, you know, we got a young group, but, you know, even these guys last year when they went, they know how to play in big-time games, and they played in them before. So I'm just here. I'm adding on to that. I've been able to play in a couple of big-time games in the league. I played in a lot when I was in college. So just adding all of that together. I know we're young, but I think we understand what it takes to be able to get to that level. We just got to be able to, you know, get back there. But in order to do that, we got to take each and every day, you know, slowly. We got to make sure that we're locked in each and every day, and just nailing down all the little things that we can do.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you come up. You don't just have to prepare for new defense, new coach, new team, but now you're in a new division.
Yep.
What's the advanced scouting like for you on looking ahead to, say, the Detroit Lions?
Yeah.
How far do you get into work on the other teams in the division?
Yeah, haven't gotten into them yet, any of the teams in the division. Right now, we're just trying to focus on, you know, what we got going on in our building, and just trying to make sure that we got what we're running down first, and then we'll get to, you know, all our other opponents later. But as of right now, obviously it's still early in camp. We got to continue to just, you know, be us, not worry about, you know, all the outside noise and, you know, people in the division. We'll get to that point, but right now we're not there. We're just going to continue to keep working.
As the producer of that outside noise, I appreciate it. Respect that. Xavier McKinney, new safety for the Green Bay Packers, is trusting the process and staying on that process. We got more to come here. X, thanks for spending time.
Thanks, X.
Thank you.
Awesome.
On Inside Training Camp Live. Jair, Coach said that this was going to be a heavy and hard one. How'd you feel about practice here?
It was heavy and hard. It wasn't nothing short of that, I'll tell you that much.
A lot of reps. A lot of reps.
A whole lot of reps. I mean,
Matt LaFleur here, step in here.
Come on in.
Yeah. Matt LaFleur here, you take my seat.
oh, yeah.
He said it was going to be like
It's all
a
on the
gut
fly
check.
here,
Nice and warm, too.
It's Wisconsin warm, though. You guys have the best situation in all the league in here in Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's, at this point in time in the year, man, this is the best weather we can get. Guys like to take advantage of it, obviously. Our coach has been telling us it's going to be a long, hard practice for about a week now. And, he wasn't lying.
Give him a warning.
Oh, gosh. Last week it was a tsunami out here, and we were drenched, but it's a good day today.
So I'm watching you guys, your defense with Jeff Hafley. Give us the skinny on Half, Coach Half. I know you guys have bought in, but, what has he brought to the table?
Half's brought great energy. Half has a very defensive back-minded perspective on the game, and which I can appreciate because it's hard to envision the defense from a coach, let alone a defensive back coach. So I love Half. He has great energy. That's my guy.
When I was a GM, I loved to talk to players about the players they face. The other day you made a point to talk about Romeo Doubs and his attention to detail and the things that he did. You go against those guys every day. Good young group. Who's one of the guys we need to really keep an eye on this year that's going to emerge for that receiver group? You got someone in mind, I can tell.
I do. I got a couple of them. I know. Like I said before, Romeo Doubs approaches the game like a pro. Yeah. You can see it in his third year. He goes about it the right way. That dude's probably going to get double and triple teamed all year. The next step up is Jaden Reed. Man, young kid is electric, man. He can go. He can fly down the field. And then you got a whole lineup. But right now, like I said, Romeo Doubs is slowly becoming one of my favorite receivers in the league.
Wow, yeah. I like that.
Yes, sir.
And so you talk about that depth, that talent over there. How does that impact the guys like Stokes and Valentine, kind of trying to find a spot? Coach said last week that you can never have too many corners. I'm sure you agree with that. But how do you see those guys going through that positional battle to be on the other side of you?
Well, iron sharpens iron, man. And that's what we need in camp. We need the best guys going against the best guys. That's only going to propel us for later on in November, December, and come January and February.
Go look at last year's training camp with Jordan Love, right? Taking over the starter. Fast forward to now. Ja, how is he? I know he missed a few days, right? Got the contract done. But how is he looking different and leading differently?
Well, Jordan Love is going to be Jordan Love. He doesn't have to be anybody else but him. When guys get these kind of contracts, man, their only focus is to do exactly what they've been doing. And that's what I feel like Jordan Love is going to do. I said he was the best quarterback last year, and his pay shows that he's the best quarterback again.
What's the difference been like from you guys, Jordan not here at training camp, and then a day like today where you're going up against Jordan and it's the iron sharpening the iron?
Well, great players raise the level of competition.
Absolutely.
So when Jordan Love's come back, I get to talk junk to him. I get to say, hey, don't throw it my way. And I get excited about it. And he does too. And that's what great players do. They respond well to those kind of adversity.
The thing is, in your career though, this is 7th season. They don't throw it your way anymore. So I'm looking at the stats from last year, dude, and I'm like, no picks. Have you is that I see your eyes out here? How do you feel about that?
I wouldn't say no picks because I did get one in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
When it was on the line, Stacey Dale.
Playoffs. I meant regular season. Regular season.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's a different story. All right. But playoff football is when it count. All right. And that's when I'm gonna make my money.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I don't buy into analytics. Here's completely. Some things about analytics I love, but they don't give you credit for people literally. And again, this is not overstating it. They're afraid to come your way. They're concerned about coming your way.
I wouldn't mind a 10 reception game every game. I would not mind that at all. Sometimes I go through a game and I get one pass. I get 2 passes. But one pass I get to be a dig, a dig route, a hitch.
How have you seen it evolve against you over the years, though? From your first year to now.
Well, like you said, it's just with more experience comes more respect, and this game is all about respect. I respect everybody on that field, but when they blow that whistle, my tolerance level is real low. So this year I think I'll have a very low tolerance level for anything other than getting after that rock.
Well, the other quarterback's always going to be aware of your location. The location I want to know, where is the championship belt right now? Where is it right now?
Right now?
Because there it is. In the video.
It's right. Oh, that one right there? Oh, that's in my locker.
That old thing?
Oh, that's in my locker. It's sitting right in my locker. As soon as you see it, it's sitting right there. It's a reminder every day, baby. Pack his bag. Huh.
Well, Jared, thanks for joining us here on Inside Training Camp Live. Hopefully that'll be it for the heavy and hot practices, but I guess if Coach is going to give you a 2-week run-up, you can at least be ready. Next time
that's definitely not going to be it. We're going to have more. But thank you.
I think we, for the most part, I think he came up with our handshake, but for the most part with Jordan, we kind of just, I don't know, made it up, and then we kind of just went along with it.
How much time was, it's a stupid question, it's irrelevant to life and everything, but how much time you guys put into come up with that?
Probably a good 15 seconds. Yeah.
It almost takes as much time to do the handshake as it did to plan the handshake.
Playing the year, for real. Yeah.
I apologize. I know you're asked about this earlier, but could you tell us a little bit more about your injury?
I wouldn't call it an injury. It's not really an injury. It's more so just tweaked it a little bit. Like I said, if we was to have a game today, I'd definitely be playing. Could have practiced today even, but it's just more so trying to not to go out there and be like, okay, yeah, I feel good, and then tweak it and make it more than what it is. So yeah, they just showing love to me, man. It's year 6. Yeah.
It's nice to get that veteran rest.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to take the field during family night?
I don't know exactly what the plans are. I know that, like I said, they be trying to protect me from me, just because I tend to like to, practice hard. But like I said, I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm gonna feel the atmosphere and all of that, and I'm gonna want to do everything. But it's August 1st, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Do you get any say in that or no?
Yes and no. Like I said, if it was my choice, I would have went today. So that's just one of the things that they just trying to make sure is maintained and don't make a small issue a bigger issue.
You feel like the offense is kind of hitting its stride here a bit now?
Oh yeah, you definitely can see it coming together a lot more. It's been a while since everybody's been in pads, and it's been officially a week now since we've been in them, and people starting to settle in, getting used to hitting again, and getting used to doing proper technique with with each other, and just trying to play smart, practice smart, and have fun while we're doing it. So it's been good.
I saw you talking to Marshawn Lloyd after one of the plays. Have you been kind of in his ear giving him advice as he gets back from this injury?
Yeah, man, I always try to help him out. I feel like being a vet, especially for rookies, it's always important to just teach them how it is to be a pro, how it is to go about the day-to-day, and if they have any type of questions or anything, help them. And it's a funny thing about Marshawn. I actually talked to Marshawn for the first time 2019. I just found out. I just told him this the other day. I had messaged him and I was like, man, I like your game. And we kind of went back and forth a little bit. And I was like, dang, it's crazy how it kind of come full circle like that. But yeah, man, I think he's going to be a very good back in this league. I'm just trying to help him, maximize his potential.
What did you see in him? Was he, 18 back then? 17?
Yeah, I don't remember when exactly I seen him. I remember watching the video and I had hit him up. I had DM'd him and I was like, just, send him some motivation. That was my rookie year in the league, and I was just sending him some motivation. And we kind of chopped it up a little bit back and forth. And so when he came in, I was like, bruh, I know I didn't talk to you before or something like that. And I went and looked, and I was like, oh, yeah, I did. We had DM'd each other back in 2019. So, yeah, that's dope.
Sorry for a kind of non-football one again, but going back to jerseys, I saw you you were in the promo wearing it. Was that your first time wearing a Packers game uniform?
Yeah, it was. That was my first time in the uniform. And obviously there was a lot of our first time seeing the helmet. But yeah, man, I was looking at it, I was like, dang, I thought the jerseys, I thought it was different colorway jerseys, alternate. And they was like, no, these are the ones we playing. I'm like, so we get to play in these, they clean. So it's been fun, man. I can't wait to officially do it.
A little extra pressure that week to win so you can get some deviations in the future, and I'm sure they'll shut that down if it doesn't go.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. I can't wait till we put on the white helmets, though, man. I mean, I already told them, I said, hopefully they'll let me keep it after the game. Since we only wearing it one time, I was like, yeah, I'm going to need to put that one up, for sure.
That's a big difference from silver and black.
Nah, it is. It is a big difference. But, man, I don't think I've ever really just wore white, even the Little League. So it's going to be dope to be able to change up, get some good, fresh look.
What have you been told about the family night? I know that, they think you probably said stuff about it, but what have you been told about it? What are you most excited for?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've seen, just practice film and how the stadium looked. You know, everybody always tell me how it's like a game, basically. Like everybody comes out, they tailgate. I mean, you already see people tailgated now for it. So, man, I think it's just dope, like to be able to have that much support behind, you know, the team, and to be able to see that the community comes in and shows love. I think it's definitely something that keeps us motivated and something that makes us work a little harder.
I know you're in a new team, new situation, but when you look back at your tape from last year, what did you see? What did you think you needed to do differently to kind of bounce back?
I would say I kind of like, at least for I would say the first 3 games, it was definitely rough because you could tell, like, okay, we had a different O-line, but not only that, like, I missed basically the whole camp. So, like, coming in, like, even the timing was kind of off on certain things. So that was probably just the biggest thing. But it was kind of tough because as an offense last year, I think we didn't score like 20 points in like the first like 7 games, 8 games or something like that. So it was just one of them things where we just had to, you know, try to figure it out. And, you know, towards the end of the year, things started to get a little better.
How much you kind of capitalized on this offseason, just being with a new team, having the full offseason and everything? How much of a payoff would that be?
Oh, yeah, man, it was cool because, you know, well, at least here, I think this is like one of the few times I ever been at a place where everybody's there in the offseason, like OTAs, you know. So all of the guys was in here working. So we basically had the whole team in here working. And to be able to spend that time with them and to be able to, you know, learn a playbook earlier and things like that, I think it's definitely beneficial.
Josh, I don't remember Marshawn in 2019 like you do, but when I watch him, I mean, he's short, but he's not small.
Yeah, not at all.
You and him and AJ,
yeah.
Is that a group that no one's going to want to tackle in this league?
It's definitely going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. I think a lot of people are, you know, sleep on the backfield that we have. I think that, you know, we have a very high, you know, upside to the group in general, to be able to come in and, you know, use all of us in a certain type of way and be able to capitalize and specialize in our abilities. And obviously with AJ being, you know, the vet and knowing the system, I would say the best out of all the running backs right now. He does a good job at trying to, like, you know, guide us and things like that. And, you know, he's also big as hell. So, you know, he's going to bring that physicality. You know, I like to bring that physicality too. And, you know, Marshawn, he can take the top off. So it's definitely going to be an interesting year.
Any particular goals you kind of set for yourself going into this season?
Not really, man. I'm not really a goal setter. Not in the sense of, like, long-term goals. I'm more of a day-to-day, week-to-week goal setter. And to me, man, I'm just going to try to come in and do everything I can to be as prepared as I can be and try to come in and, you know, let everything else take care of itself.
What's just the biggest thing that's caught your attention about being a Green Bay Packer since you've signed? How has it been similar to or different from what you were expecting from talking to people during free agency?
I mean, it's exactly what everybody told me, which is kind of funny because, you know, you got to take things with a grain of salt, but it's definitely been exactly how everybody told me, like, you know, just the community, how much they support and, you know, how nice people are and things like that. And then, you know, the locker room, how good the team is and how, you know, the young guys come in and work. And that's the thing that everybody was telling me, you know, the whole time during the off season of how it was going to be. And it's been that way so far. So, yeah.
Veterans Day rest. How does that strike you now? You're one of the veterans and you're maintaining what you have built up through camp and not wearing yourself down too much.
What's your question?
The question is, how do you approach a Veterans Day rest now? I mean, it's not that long ago you were one of the real young guys.
Yeah, you know, days like this don't come often, so when they come, you know, take full advantage of it. And as I try to do today, you know, as I'm not participating in practice, but just trying to give gems to the young guys that's out there playing. And today, they was taking heat, and it was out there. It was fun to watch.
Rashawn, I think you high-stepped about 30 yards after Kenneth had that one play.
Yeah.
Is it cool to see him making plays like that?
Yeah, man. Kenneth got a cool, unique story, and every time I see him take strides and leaps, and man, it's amazing to see. But he's going in his second year, even, you know, playing NFL. Like, he skipped high school, skipped middle school, college. Like, he's at the top level that it can be. So him out there, you know, making plays, and, you know, us celebrating him, man, that just shows him that he's doing his thing. So.
Is there a story you can tell from his early stages joining this team to now that illustrates the growth he's made?
Him not understanding what a base block is, a reach block, a pass set, to now him able to, say the blocks that he's getting, him able to work pass rush moves, him actually having names for the pass rush moves. Before he was just hitting moves just to hit moves, but now he's like, yeah, I'm trying to work this cross chop, I'm trying to work this fake spin. So, man, just his development, his growth, man, it's cool.
Your teammates and coaches have talked a lot about how they think the scheme really fits your game. How do you think it fits you?
Aggression, man, playing fast, physical, and effort, man, and that's all me.
When it comes to family night on Saturday, how excited are you just to see fans back at Lambeau and cheering on for you guys?
Oh, man, every time you step in Lambeau, man, it's a blessing. So being able to have a practice in front of our fans, and, everybody need that energy, especially getting through this camp. So that's going to give us a lot of energy to finish throughout the day and keep stacking our days for camp.
There's a game this year where they're going to be a whiteout night. I think it's October. What do you think of the white helmets you guys will be wearing?
Man, cool. They're cool. The uniform is fire, and I just can't wait to go out there and play good ball in them.
On a personal level, what's it been like just getting to know your new coordinator, and just what's he been like in terms of his approach?
Oh, man, I love him. Can't get enough of him. And one thing about him, he wants what I want for myself, man. And he wants all the goals, achievements, and he wants me to be the best person I could be for this team, to help this team get to where we want to be. So, having a coach like that, want to push you every day, don't matter, the name that you have or, what you have done in the past, man, he doesn't care. So just him pushing me to be great every day, and that's something that I challenge him to do, and he challenged me to do the same thing. So having a coach that, has your back like that is great.
Is there anything that viewing from a Veterans Rest Day that you watch in practice that strikes you that say, hey, I was in the midst of it, all these other practices, but just zoomed out a little, you noticed differently?
Like I said, just the the gems that I give, or just the small things that I say, and just looking at the corrections that they do out there, and just how they align and how they play free, and you see it come to light. But that's all credit to them.
What kind of wisdom do you have for the young players coming into family night? I know it's just practice, but because of the enthusiasm and the hoopla, what advice would you give them?
It's going to be like a game day, so treat it as a game day. Having Lambeau, about 82,000 people, cheering you on, even though just for a practice, that's what Green Bay is. That's our culture, and the fans are going to make us feel it. But the main thing is to keep the main thing. That's getting better step by step every day, and that's just another practice for us.
Like 9 practices into camp now. Anything surprise you? What do you think of the performance of your unit overall?
Everybody's still growing. Everybody's still taking steps in the right direction, and the best thing about it is we still haven't played the perfect practice yet. So we still got things to correct, and just looking at it, it's good to look at it and see that we still flying around making plays, but still improvement to be made.
The joint practices are going to be coming up later this month. And
Say that again?
The joint practices will be coming up later this month, and they're going to be one-day sessions instead of 2-day sessions for y'all this year. Do you have any preference? Do you think you can get everything you need from those things out of one day, or do you have a preference?
I'm a big guy of, take care of our body, do what we got to do. But the main thing is, having the joint practices, having different looks that go against different guys. And it really don't matter if it's 1-2 days. We're going to make sure we get our work in.
Greg, was there much of a crosswind today? It looked like it wasn't the easiest maybe wind to kick.
It didn't feel like too much out there. The first field goal set, it felt like it was a little in our face, and the second set a little at our back. And then for the team situation kick, it didn't feel like there was much at all.
You just feel like you're in a really good groove right now?
Yes, sir. Taking one at a time, making sure I see each ball I kick, and going from there. Keeping it as simple as that.
This might be a dumb question, but how different is it kicking on the practice field versus what it'll be Saturday night in the stadium?
Good question. I'll get back to you after Saturday.
Have you done any kicking in Lambeau?
Not since I've obviously played there the last 3 years, but no, not since I've been here.
I realize it's August 1st, there's ways to go here, but what does it feel like to be in a groove that you're in right now?
Feels good. Like I said, I don't look at stats. I don't look at yesterday. I'm not looking at tomorrow. Look at today, and literally seeing my foot through each and every ball one at a time, like singularly, and that's it.
So 7 for 7 in the day. I think you've made 13 in the last 2 days. None of these numbers mean anything to you?
Nope. Because I don't look at it as 7 for 7. It's 1 for 1, times by 7 in my head. So, keeping that mindset, and then, obviously trying to stay in that groove, and then taking that mindset to preseason.
Greg, has that always been your approach, or is that something you learned from experience that you can't worry about?
Good question.
Those numbers and whatever?
Good questions. I think I think it's real easy to get mixed up in all that. So I think it's something that I had heard from vets and gotten advice from vets, but it's one thing to know it and another thing to truly trust it and input it. So I'd be lying if I said, as soon as I heard of it, I was straight into it. It definitely took some maturing, some learning, and a trust in my ability.
Is it the same thing with a miss too? Like you can't hit you miss 2 in a row.
Ball's gone.
Right,
So, miss one in a row, miss 2 in a row, ball's gone, on to the next one. The next kick is the most important kick.
So probably a dumb question here too, but you made a 61-yarder to actually win a football game once?
Yep, yes sir.
So what does a 58-yarder on the practice field do anything for you?
I didn't even know we were that far back, to be honest, because I'm just like, and I'm not trying to sound any type of way, just my mindset is just locked in that wherever they put the ball down, that's, I get my line, I get my aiming point, and I put my foot through the ball, the same as if it was a PAT or the same if it was a 65-yarder.
So you don't have to give it any extra, like you're using the same stroke?
Yes, sir. I think once you get back to that point and you need to give a little extra, of course you can, but then there's a little bit of room for error goes up. So, there's some days where I know I'm back there and you could put a little extra in, but right now I'm just trying to see my foot through each ball, happy with that stroke. And I know that if I hit my ball, it'll be good from a PAT or that 58 like today. My mindset is wherever they put the ball down, that's where I'm going to hit it from.
Was there a coach that instilled that mindset in you, or did you kind of teach yourself?
An old mentor of mine, an old coach. He put some years in the league and did really well in the CFL, Justin Medlock. I would be nowhere near where I am without him. And, I've had a plethora of coaches that helped me, but he really instilled that in me. And, I still keep in touch with him to this day. And he sees kicking differently than most people that I talk to. And, I've had some amazing coaches like Tony Pajea, Dan Orner, Jamie Cole, etc. The list goes on. It's including my time at FAU, but he sees it differently, and I really appreciate his mindset, and it's really advanced. And like I said, it took me a while to understand it, but I wouldn't be anywhere here, near where I am without him, for sure.
So you're quote unquote competing against a young guy second year in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to be a coach or a mentor to him as well while focusing on yourself, or is it just staying in your own lane?
Stay in my own lane. If he asks me questions, I'm not going to say no or ignore him. I'll definitely answer. And the group gets along really well. We all talk. We all have fun. We all help each other. And in my meeting when I was getting to know Byron, he asked what are my goals? And my goal was to learn something for everyone and to help someone learn something. So I'm here to teach. Here to definitely be a resource and use them as resources as well, and just get better each and every day. And whether that's alone individually or with the group, it's all for the better, and I just want to help the team win.
Is it harder to ignore a kicking battle or to ignore the daily numbers?
Neither. I just got into the rhythm where it's literally, I know it sounds easy to say me versus me, but I believe that if I kick to the level I'm capable of, it's me versus me, and I'm going to, put my best foot forward and make as many kicks as I can, and the rest will take care of itself.
So back to the mentality.
Mm-hmm.
We had Mason here for a really long time, and we talked about the mental approach with him a bunch.
Yep.
How much of kicking success is up there?
75%, I'd say. I think that's what separates, really good collegiate kickers from NFL kickers. All of us, a lot of us can kick the ball far. But I think that mental edge, that mental approach is massive, and it's the difference between a great kicker, and great kicker, elite kicker.
When Anders is kicking, I think it could be natural to see how your competition's doing. Are you watching?
Nope. I go through my steps, my cues, my process that I've took time to cultivate and make sure works for me, and I'm going through that. And if you happen to hear say good job or I don't care, block it out. All I'm focused on is seeing my foot through that next ball.
What has it been like having Bisaccia as your coach?
Learned a lot from him. Obviously when you have a guy that's been in the league that long, I've had teammates that have played for him, and it's all the feedback is the same. Great guy, cares about you as a guy. Can be hard on you, but definitely wants the best for you and is willing to push you that extra mile. I have nothing bad to say. He's respected me as a vet, and I've only learned from him. Got to pick his brain a little bit, and it's cool to see because he has a plethora of experience. 3 times as long, 4 times as long as I've been in the league. So I'd be silly not to pick his brain and learn every single thing and soak up every single thing I can from him.
What'd you take away if you had a chance to meet with the officiating crew when they were here?
Mm-hmm.
We talked to them. And did you learn anything that maybe you didn't know about?
It was more procedural. Okay. They answered really good questions on how it's going to go. What happens. We didn't even think of this part. What happens before the whistle, when the whistle's going to go, etc. So it's more procedural, and then they filled in the holes on kind of the stuff that we thought we knew, but much more clear picture. So they did a great job coming in here and making it easier for us on the kickoff perspective.
What kind of adjustment is that going to be
The kicks itself will obviously be different, but as far as from when the ref hands you the ball to the whistle, I don't think it'll be much different at all. It seems pretty, they hand you the ball, they wait till everyone's ready, blow the whistle. So similar type deal. Because even though we didn't have to wait for players, remember we had to wait for the ref that was next to us to get off the sideline, then the ref all the way down blows the whistle. So pretty much same timing, but we'll see in preseason for sure.
What's like competing for a job while also knowing you're going to be adjusting to that? I mean, is that kind of...
No, we're all learning on the fly, and I'm just, focus on that, focus on getting as good as I can, on what we want to do with kickoff to help this team, and that's it, period.
Looking forward to Saturday.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. No, just another practice, hit a couple more balls, and obviously it'll be cool to be in, a special place like Lambeau for the first time kicking, for the Packers in Lambeau. But yeah, excited for it. I'm excited to see everyone talks about it, and I know it's going to be a sold-out crowd. My wife's going to get to come up for the first time, so I'm excited. It'll be fun.
Greg, one more thing on the kicking, on the kickoff.
Sir?
I don't know if you're practicing tackling, but there's a lot of talk about how kickers might be doing more tackling than ever before. Is that a part of the conversation and thought process?
Definitely, we've talked about it. We want to create those angles to help our guys, to either help the guys cut back, to give our guys a chance, or, get them to the sideline. But yeah, definitely we're going to be more involved, and but it starts with the kick. We're focused on the kick, because if we do our job, we're not going to hopefully have to tackle as much. Whereas if you don't do your job, then yes, you can be, obviously leave the team out to dry, and then yourself is hung out to dry. So not an ideal thing, but that's why I focus on the kick first, go from there. But yeah, I'll put my body on the line for the team any day of the week. Just like I said, I want to help the team win in any way possible.
Have you ever tackled a guy in a game?
A lot of force outs. I don't think I've had a one-on-one tackle, take him to the ground, but I try to get him to the sideline and push him out. It's my specialty.
No open field tackles.
No open field tackles. Didn't have that background. Working at it, of course, it's easy to go there and practice and slow-mo the angles. But what these guys do and make look easy, it's unbelievable. I played soccer my whole life growing up. I could envision myself slide tackling them, but football form tackling, like Nixon when he's running 21, 22 miles an hour, not easy. So definitely, like I said, working at it. But yeah, if we can get him to the sideline, that's a good thing. Or get him to our help. Or alleviate it all with a good kick, and then the cover team does their job and everyone does their 111.
It's more scary to make to make a tackle on one of these dudes, or to line up for a winning.
It all happens so fast but hopefully, love to be in the position for winning field goals. Would not love to be in the position to tackle. Like I said, it starts with the kick. So doing my job helps gets rid of that completely.
Have you joked with Keyshawn about what happened here a couple of years ago on his?
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't know if it was too soon.
No, it's part of the game. I'm really proud before that. I was really proud that high school, college, and NFL never had one taken back on me. That was my first and only one. And so then we talked about it, of course, and we talked about it after that game and stuff. But yeah, I even had the chance to make a tackle. I tried. He stiff-armed me, but yeah, it's all in good fun because now we're on the same team. So like the first day we were here, we talked about it, and he was like, "Hey man, glad to have you on this side." And I said, "Glad to be here." So definitely looking forward to learning from him and his perspective, and vice versa. Giving him some kicks that he might see or might not see this year. And but yeah, that one wasn't a fun moment at the time, but it's sports. It happens. I guess I can say I've officially been playing long enough because I had one taken back on me, and to hopefully no more in the future.
Hey everybody, it's three guys with three things from practice number 9, and he's rough and tough and hard to bluff. And when he spits on the sidewalk, it cracks. Mike, you're up.
All right, Larry. Well, I'm going to tip my cap today to Greg Joseph, the veteran kicker who is battling with Anders Carlson for the kicking job here with the Packers. Joseph 7 for 7 on field goals today. He had the better day. Carlson was 4 out of 7. I was most impressed with the last 2 kicks that he made. One was from 51 yards, and the ball crossed the crossbar like almost at the very top of the upright. And then at the end, he made a 58-yarder that crossed about halfway up the upright, had plenty of room to spare. Greg Joseph had a really strong day.
Wes?
Dontavian Wicks in the 2-minute drill for the Green Bay Packers. He moved the ball down the field virtually by himself. A 13-yard catch to start the thing. And then the over-the-shoulder grab that he had. Good coverage. But there's those catches, man, that this kid makes that I just don't even know how you are able to get your feet down and complete it. He did that. They get down to the 15. And then he also draws the pass interference penalty. That gives them an extra play after 4th and 1. And Larry, what you want to see, the rough stuff right on the goal line. Jair Alexander, Keyshawn Nixon also in the vicinity. They went for a little goal line fade over to Wicks. The two DBs combined, kept him out of the end zone, got a little chippy there at the end, but some good work to close practice.
Guys, 9 practices in, I think you'd agree the defense looks new and improved. And I personally think that starts up front. And this week, one day, Lucas Van Ness, virtually unblockable. The next day, Kingsley Enigbari, making play after play. You cannot have enough of those guys that can rush the passer, get on the edge, and disrupt. And that's what we're seeing from this Packer defense. And that's 3 guys with 3 things. See you next time.
Warning. Plenty of warning.